Okay, happy Monday. We have a video for the the 7 hertz. Should I just redo this? I'm just keep going. Hey, happy Monday. This is a video for the 7 hertz 02, which is a collaboration with Crin, I believe. It's got his logo on it, as was the original. Let's take a look at the frequency graph. Wait a second, that looks a lot like my target. Okay, that was a pretty good use of that meme. This guy wins this set that's right in front of me, and if you want to win a blue one, you got to be a subscriber. Comment below this video. I've got some other sets going out. The DAP and the IM combo, the Nova and the $3,000 set are going out this week. I'm saying this out loud so you guys know that you're not forgotten and everybody else is following along. This is a critical collaboration. This is a update of the original Zero, which was not a set I was a fan of because it didn't have enough energy in the low frequencies for the rhythm section, for a bass guitar, for drum kits. It simply wasn't there. It's not something that I listen to much, but I have it, but I don't think I've listened to it in a long time until yesterday when I compared the two. This updated version is basically hugging my own personal target, which is just a general guide that I give to companies when they're saying, what kind of thing do you like or how could we improve? I would say, this will do my library well anyway, and the people that listen to my videos think so as well. The improvement of the original to this is significant for me because I will actually listen to the 02, where I wouldn't even really pick up the original Zero because it lacked. I could see the audience for it, but I'm not that audience. This set, on the other hand, does my library quite well, as that graph would indicate. It will do hip-hop, it will do reggae, it will do R&B, it will do rock and roll, classic and grunge, it will do classical music. It may not be the ideal set for female vocals, K-pop, J-pop, Vocaloid, though I don't listen to that. I think Timmy was a fan of the original 7 hertz Zero, and this has more mid-bass, so I'd be interested to see what he has to say because I think that is the case with that. Now, it's a dynamic driver. It's $20. It seems to be a good driver. The only thing to really talk about, because it does my library well, is to talk about what is one of the points of a dynamic driver. Remember, it's a magnet voice coil motor structural membrane / diaphragm in its design. The good point is that it's familiar. It's like home cooked food. The problem is that on a track like Sweet Leaf by Black Sabbath, where you've got a bassist and a drummer going on at the same time, you can get what's called masking, where two things are the same thing happening at the same time on the same part of the frequency response graph, and one kind of cancels the other out, literally masking it out. That can occur with dynamic drivers faster than with planars because of the efficiency really of the design, though a lot of people don't like the timbre and overall tonality of a lot of planars, and I would agree with that I think it's unnatural. It depends on my mood whether I like it, but it's definitely a different thing. Planars are more efficient with doing that. Now, if you buy a $500 dynamic driver, will that be a non-issue for you? No, it's the design of the driver. Dynamic drivers, because they do an extension, a retraction, a return to stationary, which equals a hertz, 500 of those in a single second. In a second is 500 hertz, 3,000. So imagine having a lot of stuff going on the low end, and then you've got pristine vocals and stuff. It's very hard to do that. It doesn't matter the price that you pay. For example, I just said that I thought that the Olina, because I know it, I know where the driver came from. It's the same as the Tanstrom 02. It's in a metal shell. Its graph, it's virtually identical. There's unit variations, but then again, there's 3 different types of Tanstrom 02s. But people still are, they're marrying themselves to a set, which is cringe. You're just putting money in Chinese companies' pockets. You want to argue over that? It's a dynamic driver. When you take the identical one and you put it in shell, you going to argue with that? Okay, well, the EW200 is better than the O2 as well. Let me say that again. My set is a third of the price, and it's the same thing. You can argue that until you're red in the face. The EW200 is a better set than that. Marrying yourself to a set, that's fine when it's your personal hobby and love. I'm talking to older people now. But when you start spending other people's money because of X factors that you can't quite articulate or you make up, I don't know. Let it go. Let it go. I'll bang this drum forever. People don't need to pay $300 to get a good dynamic driver. You could pay $40 to get the EW200. Now, what is the difference between the EW200 and the 02? Not much, to be honest with you. There's something to be said about metal shells. My RN6, my Storm, my Singularity all have metal shells, and because I come from car audio and the reflective properties, I prefer it if I can get it like that. So that would be one thing that I think, and I think the driver might be better, though I can't say it, but that's twice the price. But that's a set that competes with something that is the O2, which is much more expensive. So when we're talking about simply dynamic drivers and nothing else, cheaper is probably better because you simply don't need to spend that much money to get a good musical replay, and save the money for the hybrids or the new ideas or the new configurations, because buying expensive dynamic drivers is just your personal joy being done. The returns are very minimal, and it's because of the driver's design. So this didn't really have a lot to do with the 02 because it is a set that really is my target, which is really a lot like the Z300, which is me to repeat, and I don't want to start to simp for a guy. He's got a lot of other stuff coming out, and I know one of them is going to be something that's legit, unique, and is going to be something that I can, if it's tuned well and how I like it, I can rec it to lots of people because I can say this is something you don't have, and it was created because it takes the benefit of this type of driver and this type of driver, whereas this is a very well done $20 set. And if you like the brand and that's the price range that you exist in, I think that this is something you should strongly consider. Or if you thought that the original 7Hz Zero was good but didn't have enough bass, I'd recommend you get this. Or you like to support people that you like, and Kryn is one of those, I would suggest that you get this set. There's nothing to disqualify it. So I talked about dynamic drivers and how you can spend 1,000 or 500 or 200 and it's not that different, despite what people say. And I'm out.